everyone, my name is Marissa and I'm going to do a tutorial today for the Potomac Bead Company. And for today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make this ring that I'm calling my Lilly Petal Ring. So this is how it looks, and here are a few that I have already made. So this is how they look, and they're very cute and very springy. So for this project, you are going to need some lily petals, and I'm going to use, well, the color I'm using is the Crystal Vitriol, but I've actually picked out the ones that are just silver. I'm going to be using them. See, this is how they look. They have a little curve, and you can either use them like this with the bowl side up, or like this. And I'm going to use them like this, just like I did on this ring. On this ring you can tell a lot easier because of the color of the lily petals. So I'm going to use them like this for the one I'm going to make with you today. And they're just a silvery color. So you're going to need 8 of them. You're going to need some dragon scale beads, 8 of them. And I'm going to use the lava red. You're going to need some 11-Os. Use at least 2 different colors of 11-Os. I'm going to use 3 for this one. I'm going to use silver. They're all Miyuki. I'm going to use silver. I'm going to use opaque turquoise. And I'm also going to use metallic light bronze. You will need an 8mm bead. I'm just going to use this black with, it looks like a Picasso type of bead. On these other ones, I just used glass pearls. So any 8mm bead, round bead will do. I don't know about a fire polish bead since that is not quite as round. The fire polish are a little bit longer than a regular round bead. I haven't tried it with one of those. I don't know if it would work, but if you want it to come out like these, use an 8mm round bead. Also, you're going to need a size 10 beading needle. Since we're not going to be using any 15-Os, you shouldn't have any problem with this. So a size 10 beading needle, 4 feet of thread. I'm using a Wildfire beading thread .006 in green. As I said, I've threaded on about 4 feet. Any bead just to use as a stop bead. You will need scissors or something to burn your thread ends with. I'm going to use the Ultra Thread Zap. And some flat nose pliers to flatten your thread ends with. So go ahead and get your materials together and I'll show you what to do first. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is string on your 8 lily petals and your 8 dragon scale beads. And you're going to do lily petal, dragon scale, lily petal, dragon scale, and so forth. So if you, I think I'm missing some, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need a dragon scale bead on here. So if you start with a lily petal, you will end with a dragon scale bead. Or if you start with a dragon, whoops, I already had it on there. Or if you start with a dragon scale bead, you will end with a lily petals. So just make sure you have 8 of each on your thread. Now, once you have everything that you need on your thread, and make sure your lily petals are all facing in the same direction. So we're not going to tie a knot. We're just going to go in through our second lily petal bead and come out. So don't tie a knot and don't go through all of your beads because we're going to be going through our beads here, all of our lily petals. So if you tie a knot, it's going to be too tight and you're going to have a hard time going in through everything. So it's going to feel really loose, but it's okay. It's going to work out. You will have this at the end. Okay, so make sure you're coming out of a lily petal. Pick up your 8mm bead. Let it drop. Now the lily petal that you're coming out of, you need to go into the one directly across and go in through the opposite direction of how you're coming out. So that's the one across from it. I'm coming out this way, so I'm going in the opposite direction. Then I'm going to go in through my 8mm again. Pull my thread, and I'm going to go in through that same lily petal bead that I connected my 8mm to, in the opposite direction. So we have a little crisscross thing going on inside of our bead. So just pull, and there you have it. And it's going to sit kind of weird, but that's okay. It's all going to come together very nice. So you should still be coming out of a lily petal bead. You need to pick up 3 11-ohs, circle around, going through that same lily petal that you're coming out of, but going in through the opposite direction. Go in through the dragon scale next to it and go into your next lily petal in line and pull. And these 3 beads need to sit right there on top of your lily petal, just like that. Now we're going to share. We need to pick up 2 11-ohs, and we're going to share the 1 11-oh that's right here, the last one. So pick up 2 11-ohs, pick up the 1 11-oh. We're circling around, so go in through your lily petal, go in through the dragon scale next to it, and then go into your next lily petal bead and come out. So this is why you don't tie and when you're pulling your thread, make sure that it doesn't get caught on the other side of that dragon scale bead. So this is why you don't tie a knot, because it would be very hard going in through these beads if everything was really tight. Pick up 2 more, share that 1 11-oh that's already sitting there and pull. Circle around, going through that same lily petal, dragon scale next to it, and the lily petal after that, and pull. And again, make sure your thread does not get tangled on those other beads there. Coming out of that lily petal, 2 11-ohs, going through this 11-oh here, pull, go in through that lily petal you are coming out of, circling around, go in through the dragon scale next to it, and go into your next lily petal bead. And I didn't get any of those beads, so just make sure that you do. Okay, I don't have any thread showing, so yeah, I'm going through everything. And pull. Coming out of a lily petal, 2 more 11-ohs, through that 1 11-oh that's right here, closest to that lily petal that you are coming out of. Pull. Go in through that lily petal again, the other circling around. Dragon scale next to it, a lily petal after that, and pull. Okay, coming out of a lily petal, 2 11-ohs, pick up this 1 11-oh here, and pull. Go through that same lily petal, circling around, go through the dragon scale after it, and go into your next lily petal bead, and pull. So I'm coming out of this lily petal here. I'm going to pick up 2 11-ohs, going to go in through this 1 11-oh that's sitting here, that's closest to the lily petal that I am coming out of. I'm going to pull, go in through that same lily petal, circling around, the dragon scale next to it, and the lily petal after that dragon scale, and pull. So this is what you should have. So this is our last lily petal. Coming out of it, pick up this one 11-0 that's on that side of it. We're going to share that one. Pick up one 11-0 and then go through this 11-0 right here. So we are sharing 2. And go through this lily petal again, circling around. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing on the other side, but we're going to use different color seed beads. Okay, so I'm coming out of a lily petal, and now we're going to do the same thing, the same thing that we did here. We're going to do here on top, on the other side of our lily petal, but on this side, I'm going to use different color seed beads. I'm going to use 2 different colors just to get this effect, because I like that. I like the 2 different colors. I did one like that. I mean, that's nice too, but you can do whatever you want. You don't have to use 2 different colors on this side. It's up to you. But I kind of liked the 2 colors, so that's what I'm going to do. And I really like this Catalina green, and I like how the purple, these are really cute lily petals. Anyway, so let's work on this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my bronze and my opaque turquoise, and I'm coming out of a lily petal. Same procedure. I'm going to pick up a bronze, a turquoise, and a bronze, and I'm going to go in through that same lily petal that I'm coming out of. But I'm going to go in through the opposite direction. I'm going to go in through the dragon scale bead and go into my next. If you can't get all of them in this one little shot here, that's okay. Just take your time. Okay. Coming out of this lily petal, do the same thing. I'm going to pick up a bronze and an opaque turquoise, so only 2 this time because I'm going to share this bronze right here. And I'm going to pull, and now I'm going to go in through that lily petal bead that I'm working in, which is this one here, because I'm coming out of it, so I'm just going in the opposite direction. And I'm just going to go in through the lily petal just to show you. Okay, I'm pulling. Now when you pull, you want this string to end up between your dragon scale and your lily petal bead. You don't want it to fall anywhere else. You want it to fall right in here. Okay? And then I'm coming out of that lily petal. Go into your next dragon scale. Well, it's kind of easy to skip them, so don't skip. If you have to go in one at a time to keep from skipping, then go in one at a time. So now I need to go into that lily petal, because I need to add some seed beads on top of that. So again, I'm going to pick up bronze and a turquoise. I'm going to share this bronze right here. Pull. I'm going to go in through that lily petal again. I'm trying to get this dragon scale bead. Got it. Pull. Now I need to get this lily petal next to the dragon scale bead. And I'm going to pick up a bronze and a turquoise. I'm going to share this bronze right here and pull, going in through that same lily petal, pull, make sure my thread is on that side. Okay, going through my dragon scale and my next lily petal bead, pull, coming out of the lily petal, pick up a bronze, a turquoise for me, share this bronze, pull, going through that same lily petal in the opposite direction, my dragon scale, pull, and there you go. And now go into your next lily petal bead. Okay, continue doing this until you get to your last lily petal, and you're going to do the same thing that you did on this side. You're going to share, see, this is the last one because I don't have any beads on top of it. I'm going to share this bronze bead. So I'm going to go through this. When I get to this one, I'm going to pick up a turquoise, and then I'm going to share the bronze bead that's going to be on this side. So go ahead and finish doing this step, and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so I already finished putting my seed beads that I have here over my lily petals, and I circled around, and I'm coming out of a lily petal. So once you put your last ones, and remember you had to share, you should have shared mine will be the bronze ones, but it'll be the one on this side. I would have gone in through this one, or I went in through this one, picked up a turquoise, and then I shared this bronze one, and then I went into my lily petal again, and I'm exiting my lily petal. So make your way up to the middle 11-0, and mine will be the turquoise ones. And now we're going to connect all of our middle beads together, and again mine are the turquoise, and we're going to connect them by adding an 11-0 in between all of those. So I'm going to add another bronze in between each of these 11-0s. So I'm just going to do that all the way around. This is a pretty easy step, nothing to it. Let me put it down so you can see better. So once we have all of our 11-0s here, connecting our 11-0s that we added from the previous step, we're going to just go through all of these all over again. We're going to go through the ones we just added, plus of course the middle beads from our previous, just to reinforce. It's not going to come loose. There's no way your bead is going to fall out, but it's just to make these beads look nice and neat. So I'm almost done. Just going to add one more, and now I'm just going to go through all of them. Very, very easy step. And then you don't really have to reinforce this. Once you go through everything and make it neat, that's all you have to do. You don't have to like when you're bezeling or rivoli or something, how you have to keep going through them to make them tighter and tighter. So they're already tight enough as it is. We're just doing this part just to oh my goodness, just to make them neat. So go ahead and do that. I'll untangle my string and show you what to do next. Okay, so I untangled my thread, And I finished reinforcing all of these up here. All of these. So I'm coming out of one of the ones I just added. You need to be coming out of, let me move this out of your way, out of my way. Now from here, I'm going to step down. So I'm going to go through one of the middle ones, not one of the ones I just added, but one of the middle ones, which are my turquoise. And then I'm going to step down by going through one of the side ones from the previous step also. And then I'm just going to make my way down to this side of my work. And it doesn't matter what side of the dragon scale you go on. Okay, and then go in through one of these that you put in, and then we're going to fill in, we're going to do the same thing we did on the other side. You see all these middle 11 O's that I have here? See how I'm coming out of one of the side 11 O's? One of the side. Coming out of one of the side, I'm going to go through my middle 11 O. And I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm just going to connect all of the middle 11 O's on this side by putting an 11 O in between all of them. So I'm coming out one of the middle ones, and these are all silver. So I'm just going to do the silver 11 O in between all of these. So very easy step. So, and then after we do this, we will be ready to do our band. And our band is going to be another simple step. So, very simple ring. Doesn't take long at all. And you get a really, really cute ring at the end. Once you are done. Once you are done. Okay. So, picking up one, going through that middle that's standing up, picking up another 11 O, going through that middle one, picking up one, going through the middle, and I'm trying to keep my fingers out of the way as much as I can so you can see the piece. And then here's the middle, and I'm just going to reinforce these again, just one time, because we are going to be doing our ring band here, and so you don't want to be going in through these 11 O's a whole lot. Just reinforcing them once will work. And again, they don't need to be super tight. They already are nice and tight and snug. Reinforcing them is not to make them tight. It's just to make them sit nice and pretty. Okay, so I already got all of mine. Now we're just going to do a basic right angle weave band like this one. So a right angle weave band box, they're going to be boxes, has 4 sides. So our boxes aren't going to consist of 4 beads. They're going to consist of 8 beads. So I'm going to pick up 6 beads, and every 2 beads is going to serve as 1 bead. So I'm picking up 6 11 O's. I'm going to circle around, and I'm only going to go through 2 11 O's. I'm coming out of this side, circling around, and I'm only going through 2. And then I'm going to pull, and we will have our first box. And each, like I said, each 2 beads will serve as 1 side of our box. Very, very simple ring band. Now, I'm not going to reinforce this part right now because we're going to come back, so it'll be reinforced then. So I'm going to pick up 6 more beads of my 11-ohs. Get these closer so I can see better. 6 more 11-ohs, and mine are silver. Coming out of these bottom 2, I'm going to circle around and go through those bottom 2 again. So the bottom 2, or the 2 that we're always coming out of, I like to see them as the bottom, that will serve as our 7 and 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You really can't tell like this because it doesn't really look like a box. It looks more like a circle. But when you have it in your hand, you'll see what I'm talking about. So go ahead and continue making your little right angle weave boxes, and I will show you how to connect it to the other side and then how to embellish it. Oh, and do as many boxes as you think, or well, no, not as you think. You can just try it on. As many boxes that will go around your finger. I'm wearing the wrong ring. Will go around your finger comfortably. So I need 11 boxes. I'm going to do 11 of them, and I know that will fit me. That is roughly about a size 5 ring. Well, about a 4.5 size ring. I wear about a 4.5 ring. So anyway, the ring band won't shrink. So once the ring fits you, you can stop there, and I'll show you how to connect it. Okay, so I made the amount of boxes that I needed, and well, this is actually going to be my last box. So it will fit perfect with this last box completed. So to do that, I put the wrong amount of seed beads on here. Okay, so once you end here, add a box, and you're coming out of those middle 2 beads and ready to do another box. Pick up 2 beads, I have them here, and we're going to go, since I'm coming out here on this side, my needle is going to go in this way, going in from left, coming out of my right side on the opposite beads from where I started my band. Now to make sure they're centered, I'm going through 2. I have my 2 across. Make sure that your beads on the side, you should have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And on this side, I have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now I know I'm in the center 2. In the center 2 beads. So pull, pick up 2 more, and then we'll connect to these bottom 2 here, like when we're making a box, and pull. So I'm going to reinforce it by going through all of these 6 beads, the 2 I added, the 2 that I connected, and then come out through the 2 on the other side right here. Now we're going to fill in our band. We're going to add 1 seed bead in between all of these open spaces. See? So I'll show you here. The purple, how I added the purple here in between all of my gold, that's what we're going to be adding right now. And I'm just going to do the turquoise color, so I can have more turquoise on this. So I'm coming out of those 2, going to add 2 turquoise and going through these 2, my 2 on the side. Don't pull super hard, just pull enough to get your bead in there, because if you pull too hard, you're going to get a band that is kind of wonky looking, and you want your tension to be the same on both sides. So just pull hard enough to get your bead in there, and then at the end, once we've done both sides of our filling in, we can pull nice and tight, and it will be a good tight band, and it'll be even on both sides. So I'm about halfway done embellishing this side. And I like to do my bands, I always like to do them more than one color of seed beads. I like how that looks. It looks really pretty. So almost done. Picking up my 11-0, going through these two on the side. Another 11-0, going through these two. And then my last 11-0. Going through these two, and I'm going to go through those two that we connected our band to right here, these two again. So coming out, and again, don't pull super tight, just where you don't have any thread showing. Going down these two on the side here, and we're going to begin our embellishment again. So go ahead and embellish this side, only getting your 11-0s in there where they're snug enough, and I'll show you what to do after that. Okay, so I already added all of my embellishing beads, which were my turquoise, and then once I added my last one on this side, I went up these two here, and then went through the two beads here that I started connecting my band on, and I just went down all the way on this side, and then I went through these two again on this side here. In other words, I reinforced my band by just going down all of these on the side and then up all of these, and if you want you can even like kind of zigzag so you can go through the middle beads as well, which I did with this one and with this one because I used a lot more string. But you still have a good ring. See how it's nice and sturdy. So I already did all my reinforcing, and I'm coming out of these two here where I started my band on, and then I'm just going to sew to where I'm just going to sew through all of these here, all of these 11-0s, until I get in front of my tail thread. So I'm just going to sew through all of these, go around. This part of my band is kind of snug, but it's still doable, especially if you have pliers, which come in very handy, especially when you use a lot of lotion. Okay, so I'm just going to sew until I am in front, almost in front of that string. So coming out of this one, I'm going to sew up this one, and I'm meeting my string. So I'm going to take off my needle, and I still had string there, so I could have done a little bit more reinforcing. I'm just going to kind of pull it down, and I'm just going to tie a knot. And then once you have your knot completed, you are finished. You can cut your thread, burn it off, however you want to get rid of your excess thread, and your ring will be complete. Now I use these vitriol color of my Lilly Petal beads, and I thought if I, whoops, there, make sure my knot is on the bottom. I thought if I use the underside, the side that was just silver, that it would work, but whoops, I think I tied my knot over my Lilly Petal. That's okay. There we go. Okay. All right, so now I can burn off my thread one more time. But like I was saying, I thought if I turned them over and just used the silver looking part, that, you know, it would look okay with the other beads that I used. But I'm coming to find that you can still see a little bit of that purplish color. I'm burning my thread, bring it down. You can still kind of see a little bit of that purplish color. It looks silver, but you can still kind of see it. But that's okay. It's still a cute ring. This just means I'm just going to have to get some more Lilly Petal beads. So, no harm done. So this is our ring. This one I made a little bit bigger than my other ones. This one is about a size 5. These are 4s. So this is how they look. This is how they look on. They're very cute. I really, really like these, and I hope you do too. I hope you enjoy making these as much as I do. And earlier, let me show you something. Earlier, I had another ring on that I had done a few months back when I was first playing around with this design. And it's the one I had on a while ago, this one. And I used Lilly Petal beads, and I used them, I didn't use them like this, I used them like this. But see, here's a difference. And here's a difference from the side. And see, I didn't like this right here. The way this comes up looks kind of weird to me, so I kept playing with it, and that's how I came up with this one. So either way, I hope you like it, and I hope you enjoy making this ring. And thank you very much for watching.